let us in on this, what the sweat hog deal is.
Oh, okay, John, you talk about it, or Ed, you guys jump in real quick.
Go ahead, Ed.
Well, it was a 7-week training program that was designed to improve the agent's per person productivity. They would come to class 1 day a week. They would have to have certain homework assignments, and it was 3 listening appointments a week. And if you had to get 3. If you're not, you got a strike. And 3 strikes, you got thrown out without a refund. And it was around $700 at the time. So it was like a behavior modification. They wore T-shirts. They sang songs for hogs will get a listen each and everything. It was all done in team dynamics.
Yes.
So I don't want to take away from your time. So that's what it was.
And
Thank you.
it was before Bold, which Diana did. So we all borrow a little bit of everything. Okay, so I want to acknowledge anybody else new on the call this morning?
Yeah. Hey, Peggy, this is Michael Garvin in New York.
Hey, Garvin, how are you?
Pretty good. So we have a brand new agent. I think she officially got her license as of yesterday on the call, Siri.
Hi, Siri. Welcome.
She can introduce herself. I told her this would be a great way for her to get started is start joining in on your calls on Wednesday.
Thank you. And, you know, we're over 3 years now. We show up every single week. I love having guest speakers, and I love sometimes it's just the group talking on its own. So we hope everybody comes back. Hey, Siri, how are you there? If you want to unmute yourself. Let's see, we got Eva. She's in New York. How are you?
How are you, Michael, in New York?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Where are you in New York?
I'm working out of the Saratoga Springs area.
Oh, okay. Beautiful area. I'm a little closer to the city, about 35 minutes north of Manhattan.
Where at?
I'm sorry, about 5 minutes north of the city.
Yeah, we may be moving down there soon and joining you.
Ah, I'm in Westchester County in Pleasantville area.
Pleasantville, yeah, that's where we're looking at moving, close to that area. So I'll get in touch with you.
Sure, if I can help in any way, I'll put my number in the chat. Let me know.
Thanks.
Hey,
Hi,
David.
Peg.
Oops, who said hi? Someone else.
No, that was just me saying I didn't say hi to you.
Good morning.
Right over to Michael.
That's okay. I just show up and run this. David, how are you?
Good morning, Peggy. Happy to be here with everybody.
I'm so excited to see your faces. This is great.
You too.
This is so, I mean, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for today. I am still on a high from Build at Sea. I don't know about you guys, but it definitely was one of the best events I've been at, and super stoked to have everybody in our WhatsApp group and people still connecting. I've never had this on any other trip, so I think we got a good bond going here. Well, all right, like I said, am super excited to introduce Brian Moses. I've seen Brian and admired him from afar. I never had the opportunity to be in close proximity to him, let alone get to go to one of his training events. And when I tell you, he blew it away at Build at Sea, even with, I mean, weren't you like a little handicapped a little bit there, Brian? I know you had the coolest shorts on.
Yeah, I had a bum foot, but I'm doing better now.
Good. And he got around that cruise ship. I mean, there was nothing stopping him. It was so cool to see him. So when I heard about Brian being one of the speakers that day, I just got, you know, your hairs kind of stand up on your body, on your arms, and you go, oh my God, I'm really going to get to talk to this guy and see him. And to be able to say in his area that he's one of the top 10 people in the world. I think you were also number 2 out of your area. That's huge. And I don't know if you guys actually read the text that we sent out. We're talking 3,500 homes. I mean, you know, let's face it. We all would like to be Brian, right? Oh, what I want to do is he's got so much knowledge. I don't want to take up any more time on the introduction. Brian, what you talked about, what we said we were going to talk about was 10x'ing, but a lot of us get real, like, I don't have the bandwidth to do that. Oh, that sounds great. Let somebody else do it. But you're going to let us in on a secret on how to do it where we don't have to 10x ourselves.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I'm saying that right, but do you want to
Yeah,
just
you
like
can
jump in?
you can get more results with less effort. Who would like to get more results with a fraction of your effort? You're all working way too hard. You're on call 24/7. Real estate's a beautiful industry. It pains me to see people not have control of their business. And we all have heard the acronyms work smarter, not harder, treat your business like a business. What I hope to share with you today is what that actually means, like to translate it for you in simple steps, because it's treat my business like a business. What does that mean?
Mm,
Well, there's three simple steps. Um, I believe in many ways less is more. I'm a strategist. I look at ways to optimize opportunities. I don't look at one thing, what's the goal today? Well, the goal is to get a deal or get a lead. I have a million goals today. I don't, from one activity, I want to get 10 results out of one activity. How many of you would like to not only get a lead, but get a referral or have somebody post something about you? So I'm very strategic, but three simple steps to treating your business like a business. And I think a bonus step is you need to get pissed off. You need,
mm.
you need to get fed up with mediocrity or doing okay. I was doing okay, and I don't know, my hand keeps going up when I move my hand, but I got pissed off. And I said, I'm done with this crap of being on call 24/7. So, step number one that changed my business and my career was direct response marketing or lead generation, taking control of generating leads so that it's like a thermostat on a wall. You're cold, you turn the heat up, and the heat comes on, and you have heat. And when you're warm, you turn it back down. I can generate leads like water coming out of a faucet. You just flip the switch and buyers and sellers reach out to you. You don't have to prospect, you don't have to hunt, you don't have to chase, you don't have to beg your sphere of influence for referrals. We can run direct response ads to generate leads. And maybe if time permits, we'll talk about some examples of that. There's skills to generating leads. I'm not a big fan of expensive third party platforms like Zillow, buying leads on Zillow. I'm openly anti Zillow. Zillow, you pay thousands of dollars a month for that platform. You don't even get all the leads. Sometimes they give the lead to another agent who's paying thousands of dollars a month. And you're not building your brand, you're not building your business, you're building Zillow's business. So if you can get pissed off, if I can say that, Peggy,
You can say whatever you want. You know me, I got up on stage and it's open here.
and take control of lead generation. And there's courses and classes and programs. I'll give you some free resources today before we end the call where you can, go to my website and listen to some trainings specifically on how to inexpensively and automatically, consistently, predictably generate leads. When you generate quality leads, you have the luxury of picking and choosing who you work with and when you work.
Mhm.
We can say no to nights and weekends and holidays. I don't have to answer my phone all the time. So that's step one, lead generation. Step number two, lead conversion. We think we're skilled at converting leads, but our industry sucks at converting.
Mhm.
We don't have a system as an industry or as an agent generally, and I'm speaking universally, it's not true for everybody. I created a system and then I scaled that system so that everybody on my team said exactly the same offers that Brian Moses would say to a buyer and a seller. I'd ask you to think about, do you have it written down, a process, a manual for how to convert an inquiry to a face-to-face appointment. I know that we have it up here, but it can't be refined if it's up here. You can't look at it. You can't tweak it. You can't make it better. You can't improve it. So that's step 2, lead conversion. And there's an order and sequence to a real estate transaction. And some of us are doing the right things at the wrong time. For example, in step 2, lead conversion, you generate a lead, you get a referral, an internet lead, and we qualify the call. That's a catastrophic mistake. We should qualify the appointment before we meet with them, but starting with, I call it commission breath, buyer calls and you go, are you working with a realtor? Are you pre-approved? Do you have a home to sell? Stop it. Let's not pounce on them. Like if we can step back and work on our business, which I did in 1995, I had enough. And I created a process. I pulled this out, Peggy. This is my son's manual for Legos. There's like 20,000 pieces to build a rocket.
Wow.
And when you open up the Legos, you start on page 1 and you go 1, 2, 3, you go in the right order and sequence. So one of the big mistakes agents make is they qualify before they have the appointment. And it works, we get through it, we get by it, but it has this icky feeling to it. And we sound like a salesperson, and people don't like salespeople. And I don't want to be a salesperson. I want you to be an order taker. And if you work on your systems and processes, your manual, you'll be able to create a sequence where you make a compelling offer to a buyer that is irresistible so that they're not wanting you to go look at one house that they saw on Zillow, and that they're willing to meet with you before looking at houses. So that's a process. So that's lead conversion. That's step 2. There's a lot to unpackage there. And then step 3 is client acquisition, buyer and seller presentations. I've owned a lot of property over the years. What comes to mind is I had a place in Turks and Caicos, and COVID happened and we couldn't rent it out anymore. And we weren't really getting there as much as we had hoped. So we figured we'd sell it. We didn't know how long COVID was going to go on. So I interviewed some real estate agents, and they showed up, and you would expect that they'd have some sort of presentation. And they had nothing. They didn't even come with a listing agreement. There was no process to their appointment. It was mind-numbing for me. Now, you may think you have a listing presentation. How many of us have ever lost a listing? Ever talked to a lead or a prospect and it didn't go the way that we wanted? I go back to the process and I rewrite the process to make it better. And I've been doing that for 30 years. And I'm pretty good at generating leads, converting leads, and acquiring clients. And when you have a good benefits presentation, your fee doesn't matter. You can charge whatever you feel you're worth. How many of you believe that you're worth more than the kid that just got their real estate license? But some of us are only getting paid what the kid who just got their real estate license is getting paid. Let that piss you off. So we sold not only a lot of real estate, like a 5-to-1 margin to my next best competitor. We lapped the competition. I went to a seminar once and they said, what would it take for you to lap your number 1 competitor in your market? It made me think differently. So maybe that's a question. And maybe you don't want to lap the competition, and that's okay too. But maybe you'd like to have more control of your business. Maybe you'd like to go to dinner with your significant other or spouse and not have to excuse yourself and take a frickin' phone call. It's so irritating to me. And that's why I became a coach and a trainer, because I wanted to make an impact in the lives of people in our industry, because there's very little structure to it. And, you know, if you have a team, would everybody on your team be handling the process the same way that you're handling the process? So those are the three key skill sets that I've mastered over the years that I think that you need to master. Number two, and maybe even before these skill sets, we need to have bigger hopes, goals, and dreams. I don't think we dream big enough. You know, if I were to get to talk to you individually and say, hey, John, tell me about your goals. Hey, Brandy, tell me about your goals. Sarah, Eva, tell me about your goals. Would they inspire yourself? Would they inspire me? Or are we so busy doing it that we don't even take time to dream? Go back to being a 6-year-old kid again. Don't 6-year-olds think that they've got the world by the short hairs, right? It's like you talk to a 6-year-old and you go, hey, what's your goal? I'm going to get a Michael Jordan rookie card. How are you going to do that? I don't know, but I'm getting that. And I'm getting a new bike and I'm going to go play baseball. And I'm like, be a kid again, dream big. So I'm going to put in the chat here my goal setting workbook. That'll be a template that you can download as my gift to you to get you thinking about if money, conditions, and circumstances were not an object, if obstacle, if you knew you could not fail, what would you want to do, have, experience, accomplish, see? Who would you want to meet in your life? I'm pretty outrageous. I consider myself a big thinker. I surround myself with people who think bigger than I do, who stretch my imagination. I believe that anything's possible. This industry is a great vehicle. We all know that you can make millions of dollars selling real estate, don't we?
Yep.
But why don't we? We don't have big enough goals. And when you have big enough goals, when you have a why, it'll get you up early. It'll get you excited about writing out your systems and processes and navigating that. So dream bigger. I like to say that having mediocre or realistic goals, you know, our parents tell us, hey, don't do that. That's unrealistic. I say, screw that, set unrealistic goals.
Yep.
I set a goal to be the #1 agent in the world for Caldwell Banker Real Estate Corporation. I wasn't even the #1 agent in my office. People go, you're crazy. That's dumb. That's not realistic. How are you going to do that? I have no idea. But if I could do it, I'd want to do it. So I wrote it down. And I guess you could argue that I failed. I never became #1.
I don't think so.
But #2 is pretty good out of 135,000 agents. So I'm really proud of that. But that's not even who I am. It's what can you do with the revenue that you make? It's what impact, what difference can you make? So dream bigger, put systems and processes in place. I'll talk about that in a second. And then don't be a salesperson anymore. People don't want to be sold. I was on a call the other day and we were role playing and an agent said, you know, so what's better for you? Thursday at 3 or would 5 be better? I just wanted to throw up in my mouth.
Brian, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I started a coaching session called Conversations with a Purpose. And it's all about getting rid of those talking head scripts, as I call it. People are onto them. They want a relationship. And that's really basically what you're saying here. So keep going. We are loving this. And you and I are on the same page.
Well, I appreciate it. So, you know, when you're talking to a buyer, like I just got this in the mail yesterday. So I'm on somebody's farm list. I live in a rural home in Hollis. And it's a realtor, and I highlighted, I'm here to help. What does that mean? Of course you're here to help. You know what and I hope I'm not offending anybody. I want to wake you up to being more compelling. There isn't a realtor on the planet that isn't here to help. So you're not any different than anyone else. What specifically are you doing to help somebody who's looking to buy a home? I want you to think about that. Answer that question. What are you doing to help somebody who's interested in buying a home? Well, I'm available. I'll provide you with great service. I'm experienced. I'm top producer in my market. They garbage. What if you said this? You guys tell me which sounds better, that or this. There's a lot more to finding the right home at the best price and minimizing your expenses in the process. I specialize in helping you find the right home at the best price and minimizing expenses in the process. Do you know that when you buy a $500,000 home, you have tens of thousands of dollars in additional expenses? Would you like to minimize those expenses? My experience and expertise can help you save money in this process. Would that be beneficial? I don't
Bingo.
have to say, do you want to meet at 3 or would 5 be better? They go, holy shit, when can we meet? So when you work on it, when you work on your business, well, Brian, how am I going to work on my business? I'm going 100 miles an hour. Let's change our language from busy, right? How many of us are busy? Got a lot going on. We got a lot going on. I'm busy, busy, busy. Talk to people all the time. I'm so busy. Don't be busy, be productive. Change your language. Are you productive or are you busy? So I also am putting in a chat, if you want to open it up, an example of a buyer process. And each one of these steps has specific training dialogues, scripts, components, offers to it. But you'll see that if you open it up, that when you get a lead, the goal is to call the lead. Why is my goal? Why does my manual say call the lead? Who can tell me why I call them and don't text them? Why I call them and don't email them? Who knows? Anybody?
Come on, guys. This is the participation. You know this answer.
I would
Nobody
say,
else calls them.
Brian, because
No.
everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Well,
saying.
Oh, hi, Samia.
In order to get an appointment, we need to be influential, right? Do we all agree with that? So when we step back and we work on our business and we go, yeah, I agree, we need to be influential. Where can we be most impactful? Face to face is number 1. Over the phone is number 2. Text is 3 and email is 4. So if I want to increase my chances for success, I want to talk to this person. So I call all my leads. Well, Brian, people don't answer their phone. That's not my experience. I can get people to answer their phone. I can block my number. I can double dial them. I am assertive and determined to get this person on the phone. Now, if they don't answer their phone, who thinks that I might have a text message that engages them so that they'll talk to me? That's also a process. And an example of that might be, hey, wanted to let you know that there's 3 new listings coming on the market next week, or there's several new listings coming on the market next week that I think might interest you. Do you have a minute to discuss? And then they text you back, where are they? This would be better served over a phone call. I make the rules, not them. So, if you're taking notes, you make the rules. I just had foot surgery Peggy talked about. The doctor didn't let me dictate the terms of the surgery.
Right.
You need to be here at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. Could we do it a little bit later? No, 5 o'clock. So you can dictate the rules. So if you look at this process that I put in the chat here, qualifying happens on step number what? Step number 8, not step number 1. Step I want to make a compelling offer to a buyer. Buyer calls, they're an internet lead. I've practiced it so many times, and I know we don't like scripts, but scripts are just a tool to study. I don't have a script in front of me anymore, but I've studied it, I've memorized it, I've internalized it. So anytime I get a buyer inquiry, I go, are you just looking at that house or you opened other incredible deals as well?
Exactly.
If you're a real buyer, what do you think the answer is? Well, what do you got? Or maybe they go, well, we just saw this house and we'd only like to see that house. Huh, really? The reason I ask is I have a proprietary program. You all have a proprietary program. Do you know that? I have a proprietary program that'll give you instant real-time priority access to all the amazing deals in the area with interior, exterior pictures, days on market, and other useful seller information. Would that be helpful if getting a good deal is important to you? If getting a good deal is important to you and you're looking at one house or you're looking at 5 houses, which is going to put you in a better position to find the right house at the best price? So I'm not looking for more work to do, Mr. Buyer. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to help you and put you at an advantage in the home buying process. So why don't we do this? Why don't we get your criteria so that we can get you set up? We can show you the home that you called on, but maybe I can find you some other properties that are even a better fit for you. A real buyer will not say no to that offer.
Exactly.
Now, what if they go, well, if you don't show me the house, somebody else, I'll get somebody else to do it. Great. I got 50 more leads coming in this week. I don't care. And if they say no to that compelling offer, something is rotten in Denmark. They're not a real buyer. They're not motivated. Now, I'll put them in my database. I'll nurture them. Their timing or their motivation isn't right. But I'm not worried about, are you working with a realtor? Do you have a house to sell? Are you pre-approved? I assume every inquiry is a great inquiry. Let's pretend that we were selling Rolls Royces and you're a car salesman for Rolls Royce and somebody walks into your showroom. Are you going to ask them, are you pre-approved? Or are you going to assume that they could afford a Rolls Royce? I haven't been in a Rolls Royce dealership because I'm not in the market for a Rolls Royce. But I promise you, if I am in the market for a Rolls Royce and I walk in, they should start offering me selection. They should offer to show me some different models and makes. Don't you all agree? So buyers want selection. They want a great deal. I go for the appointment first, and then I qualify. So it sounds like this. I have a proprietary program, and people always ask me, what's your proprietary program, Brian? It's the MLS. And it's better. How many of us agree that the MLS is better than Zillow? It's better than Realtor.com. Maybe marginally, maybe just a little bit. But if you're finding out about homes on Realtor.com and Zillow, you're too late. Everybody knows about them. How would you like to cut the line, Mr. Buyer, and know about properties as soon as they become available? Would that be beneficial to you? They go, yeah, that'd be great. When can we get together? Why don't I just give you my criteria on the telephone? Go ahead, let's do it. I'm looking to be in Nashua, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1-car garage. I go, wonderful. Anything else? They go, nope, that's it. Price range, 500 to 600. Anything else? Nope, that's it. So I'll play with them and I'm going to demonstrate that how many of you know internally, intellectually, there's a lot more to finding the right home than bedrooms and baths. So I'm going to demonstrate versus tell them. I'm going to lead them to their own conclusion. I'm going to say, you didn't mention age or condition. Is that important to you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't want a fixer-upper. Okay, what does that mean? You didn't mention type of heat. We have homes in New Hampshire that are electric. electrically heated, homes that are fireplaces in wood stoves, pellet stoves. We have homes that are heated with propane, natural gas, oil. You didn't talk about that. Is that important to you? So now I'm demonstrating things that they didn't think of. And I go, you know what? Why don't we get together so we get it right the first time?
Perfect.
All 400 sales occurred by meeting the prospect without ever meeting at a house. Then when they meet, well, before they meet, then I qualify. So they agree to meet me at my, hey, I don't say what's good for you, Thursday at 3, or would 5 be better? I go, what's good for you? They go, can you do Tuesday? No, I can't. I'm booked. But how about Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? What do you have? So because they want my proprietary list, I'm in control. They work on my schedule. We book the appointment. So that I can, now I'm going to qualify, and I'm going to say, so that I can prepare for when we get together and do a really great job for you, let me ask you, how long have you been looking? Have you seen any other properties you have interest in that we didn't talk about? Do you need help with financing, or are you all set? Let me just talk about that question. Many of us ask, are you pre-approved for a mortgage? I am so detailed this is not my nature, gang. I'm not a process person, but I'm a business person, and processes grow your business. When you have a process, you can improve things, you can make them better. What you say matters. Who agrees with that? What you say matters. Hopefully,
And how to say it.
demonstrating that today. How you say it matters, and
Yep.
when you say it matters. So watch the difference here. Buyer calls and they go, hi, I'd like more information on the house on South Street. Are you pre-approved for a mortgage? When you say it matters. How you say it matters. So don't ask people, are you pre-approved? That's a commission breath question. That's self-serving. Instead, ask, do you need help with financing, or are you all set?
Bam.
Now, how many of you, when a buyer says, I'm all set, I'm approved with a company on the internet, I'm not going to name them, but how many of you are like, oh shit, right? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Of all the 90%. So if you're in school, 90% is that a good grade if you get a 90 on an exam? 90% of our buyers used my lender. 90%. How do you control the process? So they go, I'm all set with this company on the internet. We're good. We're golden. Great. The reason I asked is I work with a local approved vetted mortgage affiliate. Generally, their interest rates are more competitive than most institutions. And did you know, Mr. Buyer, that even 1/8% on a $500,000 loan represents tens of thousands of dollars in savings of unnecessary interest payments? As well as their closing costs typically are more competitive, to the tune of $8,000 to $10,000 lower. Are you open to those type of savings, or are you obligated to your company on the internet? See, I'm not telling them I've got somebody who's better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm showing them I've got somebody who's better, and I get an appointment for the lender. The other thing I don't do is I don't give them the name of my lender until I meet with them.
Oh. Why is that, Brian?
Well, I got burned one time, and I got burned. I had a relocation buyer from Denver, Colorado. This is a painful story to tell, but it's instructive, so I'll share it. My wife's birthday, she was my girlfriend at the time, and her birthday was coming. I was working 7 days a week, nights, weekends, and holidays, like most of us. And I said, what do you want for your birthday? She goes, I just want you. I just want you to take a weekend off. Let's go to the Cape. And I go, done deal. Well, I get a call from the Johnsons, who are orthopedic surgeons being relocated to Nashua, New Hampshire. And they're buying a $700,000 home in 1994. My average sales price was about 170. So
Mhm.
this is like 6 sales. And guess what weekend they're coming?
Her birthday.
Now, I had no systems and processes. I was just work successful based on persistence, tenacity, work ethic. They're coming that weekend. I refer them to my lender, Tom Lantry. Tom Lantry tells me that they're all set. I then send them some listings. I've never met them. That's another no-no. Don't set people up on searches that haven't signed a buyer agreement with you. So I was doing the right things, but in the wrong order. So here's the end of the story. My wife goes down to the Cape. I don't go with her. She was, hey, I get it. I understood. I told these buyers I would pick them up at the airport because I wasn't skilled and I didn't want them to get away from me. So I was just going to service them to death. How many of you know been there, right?
Yeah.
So I go to pick them up at Logan Airport and they're not there. My wife's on the Cape. I drove an hour to Logan. They're not there. They didn't call me. They didn't email me. No message. What's up? I called Tom Lantry. He goes, oh, yeah, they're all set. They're in underwriting. I go, what? They're in underwriting? What do you mean? He goes, yeah, you're good. You're all set. I go, Tom, they're not at the airport. He goes, you didn't sell them the house on Mosswood Circle? I go, that's the freaking listing I sent them. I took their criteria, I sent them the listing, I facilitated it. Now, many of us would get pissed. We'd be those bastards. I took the blame on that. It's my fault. And that's when my processes were created. So I don't work for free. I let them know that it's a service that I provide. I will hook you up with the right lender when we get together. I'll also set you up to receive instant real-time access to all these amazing deals when we get together. Not over the phone. Because I don't want to, this is a great dialogue. You know, and I just have a handful of dialogues that I've memorized over the time that really work. How many of you have a dialogue when it works, you like use it over and over and over again? I feel like a broken record. My family can lip sync my offers. They've heard it so many times, it's boring. So that process will help you. Hopefully you're getting some value out of this and maybe you'll make some little adjustments. Who's ever put together a barbecue or a bed, you know, something that required assembly, and you got 2 steps ahead of yourself, and then you had to go and undo it because you can't put the next piece on?
Yeah.
So I look at the real estate business like that, like manufacturing, installing, putting together a bed or a barbecue, step by step by step. And, you know, it worked because we went from 100 deals a year to 200 deals a year to 300 deals a year to 400 deals a year when teams and hundreds of transactions a year weren't popular, weren't common. Today, we have teams that are following similar systems and processes, and we've all heard of them, and we're like, how the hell did they do it? They have a system, they have a process. And we need to be willing to say no and not attach to every single inquiry that comes down the pike, because not all inquiries are equally motivated. I want to work with people that are motivated and qualified. How many of you, life would be better if you weren't working with people that were unmotivated?
Brian, Dee Dee's got her hand up. Can we jump in for a second?
Let's do it.
Oh, Brian, thank you for this. I appreciate it because I'm in the process of creating my process and redoing some of it. And most of it is because I get in my CRM a lot of people requesting that I contact them via WhatsApp, which is sort of a red flag nowadays that it's not a valid lead. And so my first step in the process is to ask to meet in person or at least a Zoom call if they're not local. And they ghost me after that. I don't hear back. And that's because the first time I got one of those calls, and I'm recently new, Brian, I'm on my 3rd year, but I'm learning a lot here in this community. And my first WhatsApp call, I spent a lot of time. I even sent them listings, goodness gracious. Like they wanted proof that I could provide. So I said, well, here's a few. But now with the new law that we all have to have a buyer agreement in place, kind of saves us from competing with those agents who are willing to work for free and sign agreements, or not, or work without an agreement. But that's my big stuck is what leads can I rather do organic person within my sphere, but I'm trying to generate business. So my CRM, all these things are coming in. So that's one of the first steps. So thank you for
Really,
covering this.
really, really great. So I appreciate you asking that. I want that those are not leads. So I want to be clear on what is a lead and what isn't a lead. What is a lead is somebody who is motivated, qualified, desirous of looking for property or putting their house on the market or getting a market evaluation in your radius of your area in a specific price range. I call it your ICP, your ideal client profile. Most realtors are talking to people every week and not leads. And when you make that distinction, I'm not interested in talking to people. I want to talk to leads. And when I talk to leads, how many leads do you need a week? 2, 3, 4? That's a lot easier. That's a lot less effort, a lot less labor than talking to 100 people, knocking on doors, working your sphere of influence, hunting for the one person that might be a lead. So a big distinction is define what a lead is and what a lead isn't. And somebody who wants to engage me on WhatsApp, not interested.
Perfect. So Brian, what do you do when you talk about your system and people say, oh, I'm already on MLS. I've got other agents that have set me up on that. How do you handle that?
Well, I didn't say MLS, so
Right.
I have so they go, I already have an agent and they're sending me stuff. Great. Are you receiving bank foreclosures, corporate owned properties, probates, estates? I'm going to create doubt. I don't disparage the competition.
Yep.
But understand, in my process, I've got a lead. I know nothing about them. That's actually an advantage. When I know nothing about them, it's an advantage. When they're called, don't do this. This is a mistake. This is a no-no. You get a lead and they want more info on a property. And we drop what we're doing and we pull up the property so that we can speak all about the property. Huge mistake. So now we tell them all about the property and they go, thanks, not interested.
Right.
We're like, oh shit. So what if we had a process that just got an appointment with every inquiry that ever happened? So when they say I've got somebody else sending me stuff, I go, that's fine. If getting a good deal is important to you, Peggy, the more inventory you have at your fingertips, the better chances you have of finding the right house at the best price and lowering your expenses. Can I share my list with you too so that you don't miss anything? And I don't know if the realtor that is sending you properties is sending you what I would send you if they have the same program. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm creating doubt and they go, huh? How many of you, if you were a buyer, you don't want to miss out on something?
Absolutely.
So that's all part of my process. I create a question of like, are you getting bank foreclosures? They go, I don't think so. Huh.
Mm.
Probates and estates, because I have access to those. We have access to everything. So
Right.
I let them know buyers want selection, they want a good deal, and they want it to be convenient. So I let them know that I have access to these types of properties: bank foreclosures, corporate owned properties, probates, estates, sellers in trouble, people going through divorce who are forced to sell by the courts. Many times those represent a great deal. Would you like access to all of these types of properties, Peggy?
Absolutely. I don't know if I'm getting those.
When can we get together?
Okay.
Why do we need to get together? We don't. But I want to do a good job for you, and I don't want to just send 200 listings to your inbox. Do you want me to do that?
Got
No,
it.
don't do that. Don't do that. So it sounds like you're not in a huge rush. This is a script. Write this one down. It sounds like you're not in a huge rush. So we don't need to get together today at 3 or 5, do we? Like, I'm not going to say it, but I want you to understand what most salespeople do is the opposite of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you're in no rush, so we don't need to get together today, tomorrow, or even this week. How's next week look for you, Peggy? And then Peggy goes, no, we need to look this, we need to go now. Oh, let me see if I can move my calendar around to accommodate you.
Okay.
Is this helpful?
Yeah, so you're creating a takeaway, basically. It's exactly what you're doing.
I care, but not that much.
Right. And then
It's
they
awesome.
want
It's
more.
awesome.
Isn't
Yeah,
it good?
it seems like, oh, he's kind of has some juicy stuff that he's willing to walk away from me, share with someone else. I don't want to miss out. So Brian, yeah, let's talk, because if you don't give it to me, you're gonna give it to someone else. I want to know what's going on. So it's like enticing. It's like enticing them with a juicy steak or something. It's like, I have it, but if you don't want it right now, just go somewhere else, kind of thing. And I like this, Brian, because it's something more. It's more about engagement than being salesy. You're engaging them, and it's okay if we can't do it this week. We can do it next week. We still it's still going to be just as good. So
Yeah.
I like this. This is amazing. Really good stuff.
What I would say is stop winning on personality. We all have good personalities, every single one of you. I met a bunch of you in Florida or in the Bahamas on the Build cruise. You're wonderful people. And you're relying on your personality to win the appointment, to win the client. And how many of us have been on appointments and lost the appointment? And we go, wow, I had a good personality. I don't know why they didn't go with me.
Mm-hmm.
So stop winning on personality and win on benefits. Let me help you minimize your expenses in the process. Would that be useful? They don't even have to there's 3 elements to building rapport. People like you, trust you, and respect you.
Exactly.
What's least important of those 3? That
Like,
they like you. That's least important, and most of our industry makes it the number 1 thing. How do you get them to trust and respect you? You know your shit. You follow a process. If you want to get paid like a professional, act as a professional. Practice. I
So
mean,
Brian,
in the early,
we-
say this, Peggy, in the
Yeah.
early days, I would write everything out in a notepad to get it in my body like a 5th grader writing out an English sentence,
Mm-hmm.
to memorize it, to internalize it. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just we have like 9 minutes left. This hour flew by, guys. I want to open it up to questions. I think that that's important. Do you have anything that you want to get before we open up to questions, Brian? Is there anything else that you'd like really want to have us hear?
Well, just, find some people that you look up to in the industry. Stop doing what everybody else is doing. Like, don't copy somebody who's doing 30 deals a year. Because if you copy what they're doing, that's the best you can get. Look at people who are absolutely on top of the mountain, crushing it. I guarantee you they have systems and processes. Start incorporating those and watch your production go through the roof.
And this goes back to what we talk about. That's great advice. I believe you have to get out of your zip code. Stop looking, like you said, at the people in your zip code doing 30. Get out, go to events, get in the rooms with other people who are doing it at a very high level. Just because, I mean, who would have thunk Nashua, New Hampshire, that you could do all this business? You know, you're not in Boston, you're not in New York City. You are doing this in a rural area, you know, a bedroom community of Boston. It can be done, and you are living proof of it right there. So get out of your zip code, guys, and stop thinking your personality. That was one of the best things I heard today is, you know, get out of that. Okay, who's got questions? Tucker, you're quiet today.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, Brian, I love this. I think I agree with everything you say, and this just adds fuel to my fire, Peggy.
Good.
And I completely agree with him. And people do business with you because they know, like, and trust you. And Brian's right. The least of those is like.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important is that you know your stuff and you know the market. And Peggy, to your comment, uh, the reason why I moved to Dallas, Texas is because it's in the middle of the United States. I've closed thousands of deals in 25 states. Zip
Wow.
codes don't mean squat to me. I could
You
care less.
love it. Thanks, Tucker. John, you got your hand up there.
Yeah, hey Brian, that was really very good stuff. So thank you for sharing that. And I think the most thing that I'm going to incorporate it going into the next quarter, year, whatever, is to ask what the urgency is of the buyer. You know, I don't care if they're pre-qualified or not, if they're not urgent to buy something. You know,
Bingo.
Agreed.
that's kind of the pre-qualification thing, and the way you said it is it's great. We have a way of saying it too. Is like, do you have your paperwork in order? And when they say, what does that mean? It's like, well, have you spoken to a lender yet, etc. But you know, we've shown qualified buyers all the time, and there's no urgency, and that is a complete waste of time. I want them to buy, you know, in the near future.
You can increase their urgency. Don't judge their urgency. Most buyers are thinking about buying before they buy. And our skill level can increase their urgency. So I go for the appointment. If somebody's willing to meet with you, there's some urgency there. They're interested, right? Nobody's going to get in their car and drive to my office if they're not warm, if they're not lukewarm. I can take them at the appointment from lukewarm to red hot, you know, getting them interested in falling in love with a home, getting them pre-approved for a mortgage. So I've had buyers, I just caution you, you're not wrong, but be careful not to judge what they say, because they're going to tell you, no, we're in no rush.
Right.
Mhm.
No, Brian, I agree completely. And I preach all the time, say yes to every opportunity. I mean, you must. And real quick story, my largest transaction 25 years ago was from a mobile home lot in Waimama, which is in a suburb of Tampa, just orange groves. But that ended up being $1 million contract on a mobile home lot because I said yes. So no, I understand, but I just want to incorporate somehow to get to the sense of their urgency.
Let me do this. I'm going to put my buyer script with qualifying questions so that you have my 4 offers that I make. You guys can study it. You can utilize it. I'll throw that in. I also put a link. If you go to brianmoses.com, I have some free trainings.
That's great.
But these qualifying questions, you don't need to memorize them. You just need to have them printed out. And I ask them in that order. And the way that I ask them, you know, when you ask 13 qualifying questions and they have a friend that's been sending them listings, you start winning the client right there, because you're demonstrating that there's a lot more to this than what their friend was doing.
Exactly.
So being detailed and thorough in qualifying, and I'm using that word for us, they don't feel like they're being qualified. They feel like they're getting tons of value. So that's
bingo. And
that's the value.
and to go one step further, in agent attraction, we should all be willing to build our business. You attract people because they want to be around you because you exude the professionalism that they're looking for.
Exactly.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that reminds me of co-sponsorship. If you have somebody that you
Bingo.
want to bring on, how many of you think I have a process for attraction?
Absolutely.
Happy to do a three-way call with you. Happy to co-sponsor with you. You can reach out to me. My email address, I'll put it in the chat, and I'll put my contact info. But let's build something great together.
Dee Dee, jump in.
Yes, I remember Brian discussing the proprietary program, and one of them, even though we don't mention it, is the MLS for probate and divorce and all that good stuff. I'm using PropStream. Is that what you're referring to when like a different platform? Because MLS, mine doesn't provide anything with divorce and probate, so I use PropStream for.
It's not about giving them a list of foreclosures. I let them know I have access to these types of homes. When we get together, we're going to take their criteria, we're going to put that in the system, and then we're going to print out what's available. And when there's only 3 homes for them to look at based on their criteria, and none of them are foreclosures, and they go, hey, none of these are foreclosures. Well, you're not looking in Bangor, Maine, you're looking in Nashua, New Hampshire. I have access to foreclosures, I have access to probates. These are the properties that best match your criteria. So it's not about giving them a list of probates and letting them see what matches. It's just following the order and sequence of the process, and it takes care of itself.
Thank you. And a second question, do you do any social media yourself, Brian?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook. We didn't have social media when I was selling real estate. What a great opportunity that is for you to get your messages out to the market. And it's a great, inexpensive way to generate tons of qualified, motivated leads if you have a good marketing message.
Thank
Brian,
you.
I think we could have you back again. What do you guys think?
Yes.
I've seen some messages in the text chat that this could go on for another hour.
You guys are sweet. Way too kind.
No, we're the truth. And you know, when we find good speakers, we created this platform exactly for this, for everybody to pour into everything else. A lot of you know that this Zoom, I was frustrated. It came out of frustration into inspiration. And these guys just soak it up. We do record this. It does get posted. I put my number in the chat if anyone wants to reach out to me as well. If you'd like to be a speaker, or you've got some ideas of speakers, bring it on. I'm filling up the calendar. 10 o'clock, top of the hour. Brian, anything else you want to tell us about? What should everybody do today when they get off this call? What should we do?
Well, don't derail your day. Hopefully you had a plan for today. Follow your plan, but schedule some time to work on your business. 4 hours a week of training and development. Where go and watch my lead generation videos on my website and learn how to create compelling, sexy messages that are irresistible. So anybody looking in your market has to call. That's the secret sauce. Love you all. Appreciate you, Peggy, for having me. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Well, guys,
Brian.
another amazing call. John, you and I need to connect. I put my phone number in there. Anybody else? David, so glad you were there. Hey, Brandy. This is a great place, as I say, if you have someone looking at EXP and they want to know about our culture, this is a safe room to bring them in. And then I'm also happy to show you how I do a follow-up call with them afterwards. Just not about joining EXP, but just about, hey, what did you think of our call? Annie, you've been quiet today. How are you? Annie's my 6 a.m. person over on the West Coast with us. She's in the car.
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just in my car. I'm driving to a business meeting in Payson,
Cool.
Arizona. But anyway, I loved it today, and yes, we need to have him back. I would love to hear some of those scripts. Know some of those scripts that he uses in the
Yeah, Clarence was the one saying that this could go on for another hour. I agree. So, you know, I love this, and I love that you guys give me ideas for speakers. And hey, there's Clarence. He came on camera. Good
When's your
morning.
class, Peggy? When's your class?
I am putting together my class. I will have that for you. Guys, I am going to be doing a 4-week Zoom, very limited space training. And if you are interested, my phone number's in the chat. I'm going to start it in the next probably 2 weeks. But I have an offering for you guys, and I think you'll all, Annie, thanks for bringing that up. If you're interested in it, let me know. It's going to be a follow-up from throwing your chairs overboard. And if you weren't on the build cruise, I send you that little meeting as well, but thanks. So 2 weeks, Annie. We'll get that on the schedule, and it'll be a Zoom. And I am looking at doing 11 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday mornings. I don't want to conflict, but it's kind of hard to please everybody. So I don't want to do it too early in the morning, yet I want to be able to get, you know, people to get their morning stuff taken off there. David, you're driving. How are you?
I'm doing great. This was phenomenal. I always love to hear my my compadre and brother-in-law Brian. I've been very blessed to listen to that for 9 years. He's been super helpful in growing my business. So it's always nice to hear him, and happy to see everybody today.
Thank you. You guys went to Alaska.
I did. I just got back. We had a week of recalibrating, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, we had a good time.
That's from one extreme to the other, from Nassau to Alaska. I kind of like that.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we bookended the month with 2 cruises, and we learned a lot and recalibrated a bit. So both had some value.
That's cool. Thank you for being on the call. Brandy, how are you today? I don't know if she just jumped off. Let's see. Clarence, where are you located?
Good morning. I'm actually Clarence Graham here out of Birmingham, Alabama. So
Thank you. Have you been on the call before?
I have.
Okay.
Yes, I have. This is probably on my third time.
Well, keep coming back. We love it. Love the energy.
Thanks for having me. I'm enjoying. So learned a lot.
Good. Love it. Anybody else want to jump in? Michael, you're glad you're here. And you had a guest. It's all good. All right. Well, I'm in Maine, guys. I'm looking for a moose. I've never seen a moose. So I don't know, but I'm in search of a moose.
Go outside with something that they like to eat and just wave it around, Peggy.
Is that what I do? It's just kind of like whatever.
Just go out there and say have food. And Anne, you look amazing. You're driving, and good luck with your meeting. You look spectacular. Doesn't she look fabulous?
It looks incredible. Annie always looks good, but you're right. She's all decked up this morning.
Yeah, she is. Good luck and drive safely. Thank you, Peggy, for today's call. It was incredible.
Thanks,
Fantastic.
guys. I'll see you next week. I think I'm in Puerto Rico next week at Veronica's house.
Ooh. All right, we'll see you there next
See you
week.
guys. Take care.
Bye, guys. You
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye.